our EA manager, and she will be helping us to go deep into EA as Innovation Accelerator. Stella, you're welcome. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, the first lady in our midst. Yeah. So you can go ahead. You're mute.
Yes, I am mute. Okay, thank you to you. Thank you. It's a pleasure for me to be part of this discussion because it's really a discussion of how we are really positioning enterprise architecture as a pivotal role in terms of innovation for African organizations. So let me share my screen. Let me know once you are able to see it. Okay, hi everyone. I will start at the beginning to share my screen. Okay, hi everyone. Today I'm delighted to present how the enterprise architecture has playing a pivotal role for in terms of innovation, mainly by driving transformation through strategic and technological framework. So here today, enterprise architecture is no more only a technical discipline. It's also a key discipline in order to accelerate the business growth and also grow acceleration. In terms of agenda, on our agenda today, we'll go through the context. Context is to understand the how the how the enterprise architecture is playing a key role and how we have a disruption on organization Africa, and also how now on enterprise architecture can drive the innovation through the different value. Now we are talking about strategy. We need to have enterprise architecture and in action. So we move from vision to execution. And the first, our call will be the call to action. So how to trigger recommendation. We know now what we need to do, how we need to apply is something also that we'll discuss during the presentation. In terms of context, our African organization is having its face rapid digital disruption. First, due to mainly issue. The first issue is the fragmented system and legacy pain point. So when I'm talking about fragmented system, from now we have many in most of organization. I will not say all the organization. In most of our organization, we have our system platform working and isolate mode. So the system are not able to communicate maybe because they have legacy technology, and we know when the system is fragmented, we are not able to collaborate and working together. We are talking also about silo team and limited end-to-end vision. I hear the presentation that the team and people do it before me, saying how the enterprise architecture will come and play a bridge between the business and also technology execution. So we have this issue in terms of silo team. We don't have the visibility. Maybe I take an example for technology. On technology side, we are focusing only on our on our requirement. We don't see the technology team go beyond the vision of the enterprise. So that when we don't have the vision, we work on silo and we cannot build an architecture that can fit with the vision of our enterprise. So we're having this fragmented system, we have this silo team, but we have our customer expectation is increasing. All our customers now want the service on real time. Now, I want something, I need to have it now. I need to have it near to me. So the expectation of our customer is very high. So we have also this issue. We have also our interoperability across fintech, telco, and digital channel that is not really embedded in our key capability. When we are thinking also about driving and services, we need to think about the regulatory. We need to think about the compliance. We need to have all this view. And sometimes we don't have this view when we're developing and services. At the end of the day, we are receiving many complaints because we have not yet, I can say, we don't do this coherence and acceleration. And here, this is where enterprise architecture comes. Enterprise architecture comes as an orchestrator for acceleration the innovation, because innovation is not something that is nice to have here. It's something that is important. It's a must. It's a must for an enterprise, because if you don't innovate, you will die. So this is the context that we have, and in the next slide you will see how enterprise architecture are playing a key role. So now we have the value. We have the value for enterprise architecture. So the value is not something that is theoretical, it's not strategic. It's something that comes to resolve the issue in order the the different enterprise to resolve the issue about innovation. So the first value for enterprise playing a key role for innovation is strategic innovation bridge. Enterprise architecture, as I said at the beginning, is not something that is only purely technical enough. It's come to play like a bridge, a link between business vision and technical execution. On technology, we cannot start doing something without agreeing on the value of the business. We are not here to deliver service for technology. We are here to deliver service for our customer. And our customer, the need of our customer is reflected in the vision of on the business. This is why the first value is to close the strategic innovation page. After discussing, now the enterprise vision is clear, I know exactly what the business wants. Now I can think about ecosystem and platform mindset, because enterprise architecture also, we see on previous presentation that we have technological and architectural enterprise architecture. Enterprise architecture create a structural view for capability. We need to do an assessment on our process, how our process, because it's not first is not about the platform, it's about the ecosystem in terms of process. I need to ensure that in my presentation, sorry, give me a few time. Okay, I need to ensure that in my present in my ecosystem, I have the different process, I have the people able to finalize and to execute the strategy of the enterprise. After that, I can think now in terms of platform. And having this, after this exercise, I need to do a gap about where I want to be and where I am from now. We are saying that the target and the initial state. And based of that, I can now also thinking about my portfolio and investment governance, because when I realize, this is where I want to be and this is where I am, I need to finalize with a roadmap. But it's not something that I can embrace directly. I need to work in terms to prioritize which feature, which capability based on business alignment, bringing a kind of value directly to my customer. This is why enterprise architecture also work with the different other discipline like agile, like security, in order to ensure that what we are bringing is coming to resolve the issue. Now we are talking about cross-functional collaboration. Cross-functional collaboration, because when the service is available, we need to align the vision across technology, commercial, and also enterprise architecture is part of technology, but on technology also we need to be part of operation. So we need to have a cross-functional collaboration between commercial, technology, and operation. Because once the service is available, we need to be ensured that the service that we have, the platform that we put in place, bringing really a value to our customer. Once this one is done, we need to accelerate the digital initiative. Accelerating digital is why we already have the platform, we already have the ecosystem. We need to think directly on what can impact the value of our customer and the life also of our customer. Now, let us see how AI drive innovation. What is the capability? The first thing is the business capability modeling. as presented in the first in the previous slide, we have our target. We are building our blueprint. In our blueprint, we show really what is our capability. So we need to decide which one, how we need to organize, what is the high level, and how the organization can look like in terms of process and also in terms of system. In enterprise architecture, we have the open architecture. When we are talking about innovation, we really need to have an open architecture. One of our pain point in terms of disruption in terms of digital is because um, we have this fragmented system, and the system is fragmented because the system cannot work end to end in order to have an unified experience. So this is why having an open architecture is something that is key. When we're talking about open architecture, it's API based, cloud first, and also microservices. We already have it. And when you are saying also we need to run enterprise architecture, we need to think about a simplified technology landscape. You have fragmented system. You need to, in your analysis, to check which uh, which application I can merge. Also, in turn, to reduce the cost and also to really support the innovation, because having many applications is not something that is really it's not the best practice. It's important we can have two or three platforms, but integrated end to end in order to unify the experience of our customer. Because when you have we have less application, the time to market and also the operationalization and also the maintenance is something that is really key for you. In terms of culture of experimentation, on enterprise architecture is something that we drive innovation. You know already your environment, you have a sandbox when you can quickly do an experimentation. You don't affect the your live traffic. So you have a sandbox where you can test everything. Today we are talking about robotics, we are talking about and talking about intelligence artificial, we are talking about anything automation. You need to have a sandbox where the idea, once you have the idea, you can directly start think, and you have your software engineering team and you can directly start developing. So without impacting the the live traffic that you have, and you have data richness and governance. Today we know that the data is key. Data is key for an enterprise because having a data, you know exactly how your customer is feeling, how you can position your business for the 2 or 3 times, and it help you also in terms of organization to know exactly what can be the future for your organization. So this element is something that is key for innovation, and this is why enterprise architecture come really to improve the innovation and key a really pivotal goals. Now, in terms of action, we know exactly because we say that okay, it's not only about something that is theory, it's not only about strategy. We need now to operate because enterprise is a bridge between the strategy and the vision. You have your blueprint, you have your roadmap, you have your strategy, you have your vision. Now, how you operate? We have 4 pillars. First thing is the planning. Two is design, three is deliver, and the last one is the operate. In terms of planning, as I said at the beginning, you have your strategy and commercial planning, and also the different opportunities that you have. Also, the enterprise capability map to identify gap and opportunity. At the end of the planning, you identify your target state blueprint, where I wanted to be. You already have it. And how you need to work in order to fix it. Having your plan, now you need to start designing. When you are talking about designing, it will have your solution design, your building block, and also the integration blueprint. Because don't, as I said at the beginning, don't forget that integration and open architecture is something that is key. We cannot work an isolated mode. If you work an isolated mode, we cannot use standard. You need to standardize your platform in order to be compliant with the other industry. Now we need also to think about the compliance review. This is why enterprise architecture is something that is key. It's not only developed for develop, but it's developed by thinking about security. When you are talking about innovation, we have many breach in terms of cybersecurity. So on enterprise architecture, we think about security, we think about monitoring, because at the end of the day, a customer will use our product, will use our services. We need to be sure that the experience of our customer is monitored, the quality of the report that the quality of service that we are giving to our customer is also aligned. Is important for us, and also the control and design in terms of detect fraud, in terms of detect any gap that we have in the way that we are developing. This is why, and this I can say, this is the key and a whole, and also the key, the strength of enterprise architecture, because we are thinking about all at the beginning. We are not surprised by anything appear during the delivery or during the life cycle of the product. We think at the beginning, and this is why the phase design phase is something that is key important. In terms of delivery now, in the delivery we are working in Agile, because we need to work in Agile, working with the different Agile teams in order to ensure that the value we are able to bring gradually value to our customer. So we support Agile Squad and also validate solution integrity. In terms of, okay, we already have solution working, how we integrate it together in order to still having our application rationalization, but also have to thinking about how we can need to operate. We need to operate now. We operate, our customers start using our product. How we are monitoring the experience of our our customer, how we maintain the roadmap. Because don't forget that it's a cycle. When I finalize something directly, I've written on the planning phases, because when I end it, I need to maintain my roadmap, because don't forget that at the beginning I define my roadmap, and I need to be sure that the roadmap that I define at the beginning is something that can happen. So we will resume again with the planification, and also the planification can be resumed because or maybe on some defect that we are facing in the life cycle of the product. This is why this is a cycle. It's not something that we do and we left. No, enterprise architecture is as at the beginning and also at the end of the product. So this is the enterprise architecture in action from vision to execution. So what is the recommendation? What is the recommendation? From, as I said at the beginning, most of enterprise, most of our African industry still having this kind of issue. So while when we are facing that, okay, we need to innovate, but we are still having some constraint. Where at which moment we need to start? What first you need to do? So first decision that an enterprise need to do in case they really want enterprise architecture to be part of the discipline, we need to position enterprise architecture as a strategic decision making level. Enterprise architecture not coming at the end. I not finalize my business plan or my vision for at least for 5 or 2 years. After that, I'm calling now the enterprise. That okay, no, enterprise architecture need to be at the beginning. It's playing a key role in terms of strategic decision making level. Secondly, is to establish a strong governance body and promote reusable architecture assets. Once you have your strong governance body, I'm talking about agile, I'm talking about enterprise, I'm talking about each everybody in, and also in terms of business requirement. You put your strong governance and the beginning enterprise architecture need to be there. Now you are promote reusable architecture. We don't need, if you have an application, we need to think about something that you can reuse. It's not that every time you need to start from scratch. This is why when you are designing your solution, you need to think about the building block that can be used for ABC situation in case you want to have. The next step is build bridge between enterprise architecture, engineering, business unit, and invest also on enterprise architecture skills and training. So now we are talking on how enterprise architecture and working closely with other disciplines in order to ensure that at the end of the day we are able to bring a value to our customer, and also invest on enterprise architecture. We have most of enterprise now not really having skills in terms of enterprise architecture. It's something that we miss, but it's something that is key. As I say, if I want to innovate, I want to be one step ahead on my current business need. The business need to be one step ahead, and also enterprise architecture need to be one step ahead. And enterprise architecture will help the technology to be one step ahead, because we are thinking about what we need to do after that. Now the smart small scale progression. So we do step by step. I say you build your blueprint, you build your roadmap, and you start working small, smart goal scales progressively based of the business need and based also of your capability because we have many kind of enterprise. We have medium, high. So it's also depend of what is the budget that we have currently in order to manage and adopt this kind of technology. Now we need to adopt agile and iterative architecture best practice. We know all the thing about architecture best practice. We have API first. We need to be cloud certified. We need everything because we need to scale directly your project, and you need to be open in order to add to embrace the different technological we can have that can happen in the market. So how when we are talking AI for digital transformation in Africa, AI come to address digital challenge. They come to help overcome legacy system that we have in order to grow by creating digital platforms, flexible and scalable digital platform. We have our modern architectural practice. We also have enterprise architecture have its practice in terms of microservice, in terms of omnichannel, in terms because our goal at the end is to improve the customer experience and also efficiency. It's something that is important. Enterprise architecture, we are starting at the unified experience, the experience that I have at the beginning. I need to have the same experience in the different channels that we have. And you cannot do it if you don't think about enterprise architecture. We also have the unified interoperable ecosystem. So our system need to speak together. I am working in an industry, I need to also be open to additional or eventual system that I can open. Today, I'm selling and services. I need to be able at the end of the day to integrate my industry with fintech. I'm saying at the beginning with fintech with other different channel that I can have. So I need to be unified in terms of API in terms of standard that I'm using, and also governance and data empowerment. All about security, all about analytics. If you don't have data today, we cannot do anything. Intelligence artificial now is depend of data that we have. So in our organization, we need to think about how the data is organized, how the data help in order to know your customer and also help you to protect your business and also to think about the next step. And after that, you are thinking about skill and training. You need to have a strong enterprise architecture governance. Is something that we need. We have many framework. We have TOGAF. We have many things, many framework that we hear. We just need to be to emphasize the fact that okay, we need to use this TOGAF and also use enterprise architecture as a key pivotal. So this is the end of my presentation. It really to show how enterprise architecture a key role can play a key role for an enterprise who want to innovate. Because if you don't innovate, you will die, and we really need to have enterprise architecture embedded in your day-to-day activity. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Stella. Thank you. We just have to bring in enterprise architecture. Thank you for the innovative ideas you have shared with us.